Hi all, Hipper here. Today we are taking out the Cheshire, and this is quite a misunderstood ship, but let's just first get into the build here, which is a anti-aircraft build. And as you can see in the first slot I have the AA guns, obviously, and I'm still keeping my agile build, and I'll show you why later. This is very important. So I have both steering gears here, which makes this ship really agile. So just have a look here, AA defense 99. That's extremely high for a cruiser. And maneuverability 95. Pretty much maxed out two of the stats here, and it makes this ship crazy. So I also have the defensive AA fire consumable on here. I have to give up my sonar, but lately the defensive AA has just been more useful. So Tenant base commander here, and I have Azure Lane Baltimore and Müller. And if you want to bring the AA up to max, you can pick no-fly zone here. I've picked Ingenious. I don't think you need that no-fly zone. Other than that, it's standard agile build, just mixed with a anti-aircraft build, of course. So I really enjoy playing Cheshire, and I don't see pretty much any of these ships out there. I don't think many people has it or plays it, especially now that Albemarle is here. But I still think that if you get into a full tier 6 lobby, Cheshire is probably one of the best cruisers around. Yes, it is true, it is. Of course, it's a difficult ship to play, so you can't play it like, well, pretty much any other cruiser. So here I'm starting out trying to cap, and this battle here is going to be an absolute mess. So, well, except for my side, but it's just the way it is. I want to show off the AA capabilities of the ship, and it's gonna be a loss, and that's just the way it is. So I'm sitting here, I'm capping, and I'll take a few shots at this Miyoko here, because why not? But the Bismarck is moving in, and in a perfect world I would have some backup from like the two battleships behind me here, at least until I'm able to finish my capping. But unfortunately that doesn't happen in this game here, and I'm just trying to wait it out here, because as you can see here now, the secondaries from Bismarck will reset me on my attempt at capping here, which is unfortunate. I just needed a few more seconds, but that's just the way it is. So this cruiser has a very long reload, and the AP hits really hard, and the HE hits really hard, and has a very good fire chance, but you don't get off many shots. I mean, you only have 6 rifles, and you have a very, very long reload of nearly 20 seconds or something like that. Pretty outrageous. So you have to make every shot count. And obviously there is no way I can out DPM this Bismarck here, because he is intent on closing the distance. And at first here I'm thinking maybe I'll reverse out and see if I can make it that way. But there's simply no way. I cannot reverse fast enough, so I'm gonna have to take him on. And that's interesting in Cheshire here. I don't think many players actually have been up against this ship here in battle, because everybody seems to underestimate it completely. And one thing that most people don't know is that Cheshire has torpedoes. Oh yes, it does. And it has a fantastic heel, and it is a very powerful ship. The armor is also really good if you angle correctly, like I'm doing here. I'm still taking massive damage, but it's either pulling this off or just getting killed slowly by the Bismarck anyway. So he's gone now, and of course I'm in a totally overextended position now, so I have to get back to my own lines as quickly as possible, just seeing if I can take out this Miyoko here on the way. So I realize now that B is actually undefended, and I'm just having a look around here, and I'm determining, yeah, I can probably get away with capping this cap here without getting pretty much obliterated. The enemies are in such a position that if I stay behind this island here, I should be relatively safe. It's really only the Helena that has a good shot at me. I mean, this Gneisenau here is able to shoot at me, but like the accuracy of that ship is just terrible, so I'm not really too worried about that guy. Instead, I'm focusing on this Helena here because he's actually able to take my last 8,000 health off me pretty quickly. So I need to make sure I cap first, and then taking out the Helena is a secondary objective. So I need to get in cover behind this island here, so I can make sure I cap, because that's what we need right now, that's what my team needs. I also need a little bit of a break, so I can heal back some of the hit points that I lost taking on that Bismarck there. And it's a bit of a problem here that there are still so many battleships left, and at this point in the match, my team is pretty much on the retreat, and that is unfortunate. The Florida is pushing really hard over there on that flank, and yeah, it's just not working out too well for us. And now these two battleships here starting their push, so obviously I need to get into to cover now, because I cannot take on two battleships like that. But I'm just getting greedy here. I just want to see if I can take this Helena out of the game, because that could be a game changer, literally. But of course, no luck there. Get overpins and bounces and stupid stuff like that. Although Cheshire has 234mm guns, which is very big for a cruiser. I still think that the actual damage you get out of these guns here is tiny, puny. So this is definitely not a ship that you're going to set damage records in. The DPM is simply just too low. Like shooting like this, you only get off 4 barrels every, what is it, like 16, 17 seconds or something like that. It's just, it's yeah, not ideal, let's put it like that. So now we start to get attract the interest of the carrier here, and that's what this video is about, pretty much. Because Cheshire is, if not the strongest, it is one of the absolute strongest anti-aircraft cruisers out there. And I just gotta try to avoid this Florida salvo here, because like I said, there's just too many battleships left here. We only have 1 left, and the enemy has 3 left. And when we're down to like a 5 versus 4, that is pretty much a loss if the enemy battleship players know what they're doing, and they do in this match here. So there goes our last battleship, and it's now a carrier, a quite useless carrier, and me and some random destroyer all the way on the flank against 3 battleships, a cruiser, and a very good carrier. And yeah, it's not gonna go well, but I get to try out my anti-aircraft build here, and that's pretty much the point of this match. So I'm not too disappointed. So the only way we're going to win this battle now is by winning it on points, and even that's going to be difficult because we're behind by nearly 200 points. Now you might notice I have my anti-aircraft consumable on a bit early, and that's a mistake. I accidentally pressed the button earlier, and that's something I think the devs should look at, that the consumables have different arrows, like they point different ways depending on which ship you are on, which is quite annoying. I don't play Cheshire that often, and I just forget that up on this ship here is actually that consumable. So anyway, I am heading for A. I'm going to try to cap that, and then I'm going to hope that we can try to keep A and B. But if you look at the carrier right now, he's not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. But it would be very nice if he kept like a plane above B to deter that battleship from actually entering. But it seems like he's just checked out or whatever. And the destroyer is also, I don't know what he's doing. It would be very nice if he went down to actually try to take C while the battleship is occupied. We might actually win then. But I don't know what he's doing. He's heading out to the carrier. So that leaves me as the only ship in the actual middle of the map. And of course, That's very tempting for the carrier. So I'm down to less than 400 hit points here, and there's still 5 minutes left of the battle. And I'm going to get focused by this carrier here hard now. And obviously I have my anti-air build on, and it works really well. Like, this is a very powerful cruiser. So if you're in an aircraft carrier and you have no other targets, like right now, like, I am the only target, so that's why I kind of understand why the carrier player is going for me. But under normal circumstances, Cheshire would probably be the ship you would save for the end, because it's going to be very, very expensive in planes to actually sink it. So I'm just taking one last shot at this Alabama here to try to reset the cap and buy us a little bit of time. And if the destroyer had stayed at sea, we would actually have a chance now. But for some reason he wants to go out to the carrier and I guess try to defend it, but there really is no point. Right now, his efforts would be much better served by just capping C and allowing us to win on points. So now we have another squadron incoming, and they're already taking heavy losses going in. And this is where the agile build comes in, where you just pounce that rudder all the way and try to avoid the incoming salvos there. And I was hit, but just a small fire. Didn't even take a lot of hit points off me. So I'm still trying to get away now, because I know the battleships are closing in. The destroyer actually managed to get the battleship, but that's of no importance now, because the battle is lost, and he could have changed, well, turned the tide here, to use that expression, but instead he went chasing a battleship at the edge of the map. So yeah, that's what happens. I hope he enjoyed it. So I'm just still trying to see if I can't keep this Alabama here in my sights. Like, I could run away now and probably survive, but the cap is going to fall regardless of what I do. And I know there's another carrier strike coming at any minute, so I'm just waiting for it basically, and there it is. Just trying to get off a shot at that Alabama there. And just trying to arrange myself so I might be able to cheat these top planes here. And again, a fast rudder and the fast acceleration of these British cruisers here allows me to outmaneuver both the planes and the battleship salvo. And that's why Cheshire is just like a very like surprisingly agile ship if you set it up with an agile build, obviously. Like I said before, this is not a damage ship, so there's really no point speccing your like your AP damage or your AT damage or your reload or something like that, because it doesn't make much of a difference. This is primarily an anti-aircraft ship and a capping ship, and being up close is quite a good way to make this ship work, because the armor is very similar to Albemarle, which means that you have to angle, and you have to angle very, very precisely. With like a matter of like 4 or 5 degrees is the difference between a total broadside and just nothing happening, basically. So I am in trouble now, because I have 2 tier 7 battleships closing in, and there's a lot of tier 7 battleships in this game here actually, and a carrier squadron. So I won't last much longer, and it doesn't really matter because this game is lost a long time ago. So I'm just gonna fire off a last salvo here to get a little bit of an extra defend ribbon to give me a little bit more XP. And like I said before, this is not a victory, this battle here, but I'm not too disappointed. I mean, I get more than 2000 XP, so to me, I don't really care much that it's a loss. Of course, it's always better to win, but just get another 2 defend flags there, and unfortunately the battleship gets me, which was inevitable. But we did the best we could here. We have 2 solo caps and like 29 planes shot down, and as you can see in a minute here, more than 2,000 XP in a loss against a lot of tier 7s. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So this was a Cheshire battle here with a not a full anti-aircraft build, but almost a full anti-aircraft build. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.